Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. What's good, everybody? What's going on? What's happening? It's another episode of MoSports TV. We back once again. I'm with the gang, Big Ed, Big Meech, and Matt Chi. And we got a very special guest, actor, straight out of LA. Well, actually, he's from New York, but he's residing in Cali right now. He played in NCIS LA, The Rookie, Pam and Tommy, SWAT CBS. My boy Chris Lamica. What's up, big dog?
What's up? What's up? How you guys doing?
We're feeling good. We're living good out here in Jersey, man. How's the weather out there, man?
It's winter weather, man. Got the sweatshirt on. You know, it's 60 degrees. The blood thins once you move out here. You know.
I bet you 60 feels cold out there because it's so
hot. It does. Yeah. No, I many ways I haven't gone soft, and that way I definitely have gone soft since moving out here.
For sure. All right, we're just gonna get everybody into the chat real quick, and we're gonna get this going.
Sounds good.
Double R, what's happening, bro? Victory Tuesday?
You tagged
Victory
everybody?
Tuesday?
Yeah, I just tagged everybody.
There we go.
Just tagged
Get the
everybody.
gang
Corey
in
says
here.
We're gonna get everybody in here. We're gonna get this going. We got a full slate. We're gonna interview Chris, and then we're gonna talk NFC and AFC Championship football.
Well, unfortunately for Chris, we are going to have to recap. I hate to do it to him, but we're going to have to recap. Because, I mean, it was a crazy weekend all around. Not just, that game specifically, but a lot of things going on that we really haven't seen, in a few years, especially in terms of the competitiveness of these teams. These are four now teams left of the absolute top upper echelon. These are high talents on both sides of every conference. I mean, this is a star-studded, Final Four that we got going on, and it's good to see. I like it.
Yeah, 3 out of the 4 teams are returning to the AFC and NFC Championship. The only new addition to the AFC and NFC Championship is the Eagles. Yeah, so we're gonna see a lot of high value football, a lot of great football this weekend. I'm excited to watch these games. It's going to be a hell of a games.
It needs to unleash. Oh, jeez.
Man. Oh, yeah.
Oh, we got a Meech talk your talk. It'll be coming.
We gotta do a little.
We're gonna do the interview, and then we're gonna get into it.
It's still going to, so please.
We're gonna get into it. We're gonna talk our little shit. We're gonna recap the divisional round. We're gonna preview. We're gonna preview the championship round, but more importantly, we're gonna interview my guy Chris Lamica. Great actor, by the way. He won Best Actor in the AMAWNYC Film Festival. Shout out to. This is our first, and you are our first actor.
Our first actor ever.
Yes.
All right.
Honor and a privilege, my boy.
But let's not let that take his professional basketball career as well, which some people may not expect. Because I definitely, you think of like LeBron James, Kevin Durant, Chris Lamica should be in the conversation as well. Come on, let's toss him in there. Let's give him some respect.
I'm gonna call it out though. It's Lamica, and then we can roll from there.
Okay. My bad.
There's only 831 of us in the world with that last name, so no one's ever gotten it right. So you're good.
Okay. Mr. Lamica, can you elaborate on your professional basketball career? What did you actually like? What teams you were rocking with? And
So when I was 17, I did the A1 mixtape tour for a minute. That was on ESPN. Did what?
Did you have a nickname?
Yeah, so it was the year the professor was like doing his thing, and so we were in Boston, and I won like the open run and all that, and they bring us in there in the arena, and they're like, "Oh, we want you two to play 1-on-1 at midcourt because, of course, like you need the 2 white guys going at it." Like, so he's there, and he gets the ball first and doesn't really do much. Pulls a 3, misses it, whatever. And of course, they have like the spotlight on, like doing like the whole theatrics. And I do this like spinning sham god move, put it through his legs, and pull it back, and it like spins him in a circle. And then the hot sauce comes out, punts the ball in the crowd, like goes crazy. And the dude on the mic was like, "Professor, he's coming for your spot. We're calling him the substitute." And then that kind of evolved into like illusion was a thing. And but yeah, so that's where that started. And
Dope.
because it was before the NIL deals could be a thing, they came to me and they're like, "Hey, we want to make this like a thing going forward, like you versus him, who's getting the spot," and offered me like a pretty little contract. And one of the dudes there who I still am in contact, his name was Sick With It, he's from out here.
Yeah.
Talking to him, and he's like, "Bro, like if you have a chance to go to college and play hoop, like do that. This sort of entertainment basketball will always be here." And the best advice I ever got, because he's like, "You work on your jump shot and you're good." And he would like laugh because he's like, of course the white guy is like, I'm telling him to work on his jump shot. So I took that serious and went to college, had a nice little run. First I was at SUNY Potsdam in upstate New York. My freshman year went to like the Elite Eight. Started the first few games, but but became ineligible academically. I had like some family stuff going on. Like two of my grandparents who helped raise me like died within like a close time frame, and I was just like in a messed up spot mentally. Then transferred to Northern Vermont University at Johnson, which then it was Johnson State, and had a nice little 2-3 year career there. Met my wife, who's a Hall of Famer there. She's a baller. And and then went on to play in the ABA with the New York Red Riders, where I was an all-star. There they did like this retirement ceremony, like retired my jersey because I was their first all-star. I was on like this Harlem Globetrotter style team where I was their first white trick player, which was cool. So I got to like tour the country and doing that sort of stuff. Just that's amazing, like when you can like impact people in that way. And then from there, had an NBA D-League contract with the Fort Wayne Mad Ants, but a neck injury kind of shut that down.
Okay.
And then so got to tour the country playing hoop, which was a dream, and slowly transitioned into acting from there.
Hell yeah.
So what made you transition from basketball to acting? Like what made you get into the acting world? Were you being in high school, or like what made you do that?
Bro, when I tell you I wasn't even in a school play. Like in the kindergarten play that everybody's in, like I wasn't in. Like they're like, go stand in the back, like you got too much energy. And so my school, like I played football, basketball, and baseball. Baseball I stopped in like 11th grade when basketball started seemed like I could do something with it. And so I never acted. And then I was with my boy Matt in Boston, and he's like a teammate of mine, and he'll come up a few times in our conversation, I'm sure. But we were like down there, and some dude in like a 3-piece suit came up to me. He was like, "Oh, are you an actor?" And I thought he was like looking to get me into like some adult entertainment stuff. Like I'm like, "Nah, bro, like I'm not not doing that." And so I went back to Vermont at the time, and a similar situation kind of happened, and they're like, "You remind us of this like James Dean guy," who at the time I had no idea who he was. I was like, "Oh, cool!" Like, and they're like, "Will you audition for our stuff?" And so, never having an acting class at the time, never doing anything, I showed up at the audition, and they criticized me because I didn't have like a headshot and resume, and they're like, "This is a professional production." I'm like, "I don't know." Some dude asked me to like be here.
Like, well, yeah.
Right, I'm like, exactly. I'm like, come on, bro. And so I'm like, I just told him like, let me do my thing, and then we'll, be on our way. And so I auditioned, and when I left, they just followed me to the parking lot. We're like, "Hey, we'd like you to have this role." And then fast forward a little bit, and I'm on set with like Chevy Chase and Bonnie Wright from Harry Potter and a bunch of dudes from Game of Thrones, and that was like essentially my first acting gig. And then after that, I was like, this is such an art form and a craft. I better like approach it like I do basketball and work at it as opposed to like fluking. So it was like fluke to start and then like relentless pursuit since.
Okay. Awesome.
I got a question for you. Now, you had mentioned, you obviously your basketball career up and coming, and you had suffered that neck injury. Now, do you find yourself ever going into like a local LA Fitness and just dominating the sport? Because I feel like if I was in that position, you have the skills probably still, to go moves.
No, and like especially when I was starting out here, it's like, everybody has this glamorous perception of like, oh, you just walk into LA and you like take over the world, and that's the furthest thing from the truth. It's like, imagine auditioning or interviewing for every job you ever do is essentially what it is. So when I was out here at first and probably pretty trash as an actor, I did a lot at the time. I did a lot of like skills training with a lot of like local kids, and got a lot of them playing in college and stuff, and super proud to, my unique skill set. Like I never went to a basketball camp or anything, so it was very like creative and very raw. Naturally. But I felt like I had a lot to like teach, and so one of the coolest things was teaching a lot of kids who probably would have been like cut from their high school teams, and them going off and getting the chance to play in college and stuff. So I keep my skills super sharp. At the time, like people would, of course, like talk shit about. Excuse me, can I swear on this?
Yes, you can say anything you want.
Okay, so people would like come up and like like talk shit to you about wanting the court or whatever. And so when that would happen, I would play one-on-one and just like annihilate them and be like, all right, like don't judge a book by its cover, sort of thing. But as far as like getting in like men's leagues runs and stuff, it's like, how it gets sometimes. People get like overly physical, and when my body is my career, unfortunately I can't go out there and tear an ACL or something. And but no, I have a basketball in my hands 3-4 times a week, so the skills are still there.
You still get a bucket.
You still rocking and rolling.
Yeah, I'm still a walking show with the ball. That's for sure.
Nice.
So,
we got a question for you coming in from
yeah.
Do you enjoy playing so many cop roles?
Well, here's the thing. I played one time. I played a Navy SEAL on NCIS LA. I did a few episodes with that. But when I'm on the shows, I'm usually like the bad boy next door, the crazy eccentric guy. Like I'm never the actual cop. Like I'm not the good guy, which I don't really understand because I feel like I'm at least a decent person. But I always go out for these like crazy roles. But I think it's because my eyes don't open all the way or something, so I look like, like I'm high all the time. but yeah, no, it's cool to be on those sort of shows because, like to answer that question, because it's like it does become procedural and like systematic in some ways. But if you can come in as like a guest star and be something unique and different, it's like you can tell the whole cast and crew like really radiates around it.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And then another comment says, if you could put NCIS in any city and star in it, which one would you choose and why?
I would do NCIS upstate and go to upstate New York so I can go back home a little bit. And, because I do think with all those shows, that's a great question, by the way. I do feel like all those shows are based in like cities, so that's a certain group of stories you can tell. And when you're in the country or upstate rural, like you have a completely different set of issues that people deal with, and I don't think there's a lot of shows that do that. I think like Yellowstone, which is wildly popular right now, is like kind of cornering that as far as what is possible. But yeah, no, I would put it in upstate New York for sure.
Yeah, okay.
Go back east.
And the Eagles fans are saying NCIS Philly. Oh God.
Yo, come on. And my wife is a diehard Giants fan, like, so she's not trying to hear that Philly garbage.
Shout out to her.
Shout out to her.
Yeah, shout out to Jenna. She's the best.
All right, Ed.
Okay. My question for you: what is the role that you embodied the most in your acting career?
The coolest one, I think the most difficult one was NCIS LA doing the Navy SEAL stuff. Like I did multiple episodes on that, And my whole family is basically military, but me. I was the first one on my dad's side not to to go to college instead of the military. So there was always that connection. And when I got the role, I was shocked because it was the first time I got something like that. When I got the role, I took it super serious and would reach out to people who I knew and didn't know of hey, what's it like to be a SEAL? What's it like to be in Afghanistan? What's it like to live this life? Because, I'm not that's not something I've experienced. So I want to make sure to bring it as truthful as I could. And then even when we were filming, it's supposed to be in Afghanistan. I get my show trailer and have the AC cranked on. I flipped on the heat and really tried to be in that as much as I could, just because I had no reference point.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that was one, and also that was probably one of my favorite because all the work I put into it. I had somebody reach out to me, in a Navy, or not a Navy SEAL, a Marine, and was like, "Hey, I want to tell you, so often we're characterized or mischaracterized on these shows as these people who are just walking killers and without emotion." And he's like, "What you brought to it was how we all feel, that every time you pull the trigger, you're emotionally connected to that. It's not just I'm mindlessly pulling." And so he thanked me and sent this really long message with a lot of personal stuff that I won't get into about his experience, but that brought me to tears, because that's what you do. The reason you do it is to move people in some way, shape, or form. So it was just the coolest, and was worth every second of work I put into that.
That's awesome.
That's very awesome, especially for the vets.
What's going on, D?
Yeah, man. Yeah.
I have a question. So you did a Finish Line commercial that embodied your basketball.
Yes, I got to use my basketball skills. Yes.
And it was featuring Mac Miller. How was it to
Harvey
to collab with the late Mac Miller? Rest in peace to his
son. Yeah, so that whole process was cool because I stand on Mac Miller, obviously. We could go into that forever, but he's just fantastically talented. And when I auditioned for it, I had no idea who the other people in it were. They're just oh, it's a big name rapper. And I don't usually do commercials, but this one's a network national, had to do with basketball. So it was kind of something that was interesting. And so I go to the audition, and it's everybody is a little, has a little more melanin than I do in the audition room. And so I go in, and they're like, "Hey, what can you do?" And I said, "If you got 30 seconds, I'll show you a handful of things you've never seen before." So I do all my stuff, and the one guy was the casting director was like, "You remind me of this dude I went to juvie with." And so I'm like, "I was that dude you went to juvie with." And he was real? No, I'm not that guy. But, and then so I show up on set, do my stuff, and then the commercial comes out, and it's Mac Miller in it, and someone tagged us, these, and so he reached out on Twitter before I deleted my Twitter, and was "So you're the other white guy in this, and then respect." And then we just kind of went back and forth on there a little bit, and just a super kind soul. And it's one of those situations, if I knew now that he was going to pass, I would have somehow documented and kept that, because it's just one of those things. Yeah, it's one of those, a moment, and now it's a memory I have, but there's no physical manifestation of it.
Yeah.
But no, it was awesome. And even in our brief interactions, it was it was kind of one of those surreal moments. When you work with icons. I had the same thing with LL Cool J. It's there's part of you that's yeah, I should be here, I deserve, and then there's the other part that's yo, yeah.
All right, another fan question.
Let me get a question. What do you have one of any of your N1 moves? Do you have any moves that you have you know what I mean, a signature move that
substitute?
You do?
Yeah. If on my IG, there's a little brief video of it, but basically I do this matrix move into a handstand with a through the legs dribble at the same time. And that's anytime I need to shut it down real quick, I pull that out, and it's just a killer. It's it's one of those moves like, you can't really do. You have to spend a lot of time working on it. So, that's with that. I think that's my signature.
Wrong division. The only substitute that's given out homework.
Yeah.
All right,
That's funny.
A role that you had auditioned for and really wanted but didn't end up getting.
Bro, The Flash.
Wow.
I auditioned for the actual character of The Flash.
Flash, though. Which
too.
Flash? Which Flash for
The,
which?
the TV series.
The CW one? Yeah,
CW.
okay.
Yeah, and it was way above my head at the time. Like, I was shocked I even had it. But it was an awesome experience, awesome audition. I've led to work on Warner Brothers a lot after that on several other things, so it ended up working out. But that was the one role where I'm like, man. But with the experience I now have looking back, it's like, I didn't have the resume to carry a network series at that time. Like, for sure.
Is it tough when you don't get a role? Like, mentally, does that like fuck with you? Like, if you don't get a role, you want it?
As like my background with sports in general, like football was my best sport in high school, actually. But just sports in general, like that competitive fire, it's like it's not always welcomed in the artistic world. But I use it for my benefit because it's like I think it separates me. So yeah, every time I audition for something that I really want and I don't get it, like there's that little part of you that's like, oh, I'm gonna show you, like you fucked up, like next time you want me, I'm gonna be worth double what you would have paid for it to get me now. So yeah, I have that little fire to me that I think probably separates me, and yeah, but no, everyone stings. You know what I mean? It's like every single time stings because you just never know when it's the last time you're on camera.
And apparently, Imaine says that they're looking for a new Flash right now, so there still could.
Yes, Return of the King. Let's go.
Redemption time.
I could see it.
Right.
As soon as he said it, I was like, "Yo, that could work." I like
it. Yeah, from your mouth to God's ears. Let's do it.
Let's do it. Absolutely. So let's get into some football stuff.
Yeah. Oh God. Yeah.
What is your favorite teams? Football, basketball, baseball. Who's your favorite? In football, basketball.
So football is my number one sport to watch, and I'm bleed red and blue Bills like since as long as I could remember. When we were trash for most of my life, I didn't miss a game. I didn't miss a snap. I always thought it was our year. I'm like, yo, Tyrod Taylor's the guy. Yo, EJ Manuel's the guy. No, Ryan Fitzpatrick's the guy. And it was like, you just kind of try to convince yourself.
That's depressing.
So like red and blue, always. Like, like last year, my boy Matt and I, we flew out to the Kansas City game. Talked so much smack and went from the highest of highs to the lowest of lows. Like I was wild in there. Like this year we went to the game out here versus the Rams and stuff. So we, it's definitely one of those things. Bleed red and blue. And it's just cool. Like with the smaller market, like I'm able to like actually interact on like social media with some of the players, like prominent players that are like having conversations with me and like, golf with when they come out here potentially, like that sort of stuff. So it's really cool. It feels like a family to be a Bills fan, And then baseball, I'm a Mets guy. Like the Mets, and a lot of that was because when I was like young, and they would give like the free tickets. Like the Yankees never gave us free tickets, like as a little league to go to their games, but the Mets are like, hey, here's all of the tickets at Shea, like take them. And so, love the Mets. Always love the Mets. And then basketball is like a little different because, I grew up a fan of players more than anything. Like I've grown to really like the Utah Jazz just because, my family and we have a house out there now. And so that's grown on me. But as far as players, like when I was young, like Jason Williams was my guy.
Yeah.
Allen Iverson was my guy, even though fuck Philly sports, but Allen Iverson was my guy. You know, kind of like dudes like that, like Steve Nash, like people I could relate to, Baron Davis, those kind of guys, like someone who I could be like, I could do that. You know, I couldn't really look at, you know, the Carmelo Anthonys of the world and be like, yo, I can do that. Like, I couldn't be that. But yeah, so Jason Williams is the only dude who actually made me starstruck. Like, we were at one of the big 3 things, and he's right there in front of me, and I like walk up, I'm gonna tell him how he like changed my life, and then I just froze. As a grown ass adult, and I just froze because I'm like, man, this dude has meant so much to my life and like my journey. Like, I was cut from my middle school basketball teams and told I was too small, I should go play baseball, and that's when Jay Will came in the league, and I'm like, oh, I could be this undersized white guy who's like super flashy, and like I can do this. And so he had such like an impact on my life without even knowing it. And yeah, and so I had the chance to talk to him, and I froze so bad.
That actually happened to me one time. I met Todd Frazier for the first time. Yeah. He's from the same high school that I went to, but he graduated a year before I got into it. And obviously he's the most talented player to come out of Tom's River in general, which is our home.
Yeah. Tom's River, great baseball though.
Yes.
Sir.
We won the Little League World Series. We get a lot of great talent coming out of that county in general. But he was just a hero of ours, and we actually got the privilege to help run his charity event, the Todd Frazier beer pong tournament. And,
that's awesome.
We had our first meeting to actually talk about, you know, the event, the sad and the third, and it was my first time I met him, and I shook his hand, and one of the guys there was like, hey, tell Todd what you guys do at MoSports. I was like, well, we have a podcast, and everything else just shot the fuck out of my head. I couldn't tell him that so close, that we do sports picks, that we do this, that we do that. I'm just like, I have a podcast. Yeah. And
you should listen because it's really, really good.
I was like, bro, I was like, yo, I'm nervous. I don't even know what to say right now. My bad. And I just sat down. It's a crazy feeling.
It's crazy. And you know, like to circle it around, it's like, you know, that's why I think like stuff like you guys do and stuff like I do and whatever, it's like you don't really ever know who you're reaching and who you're impacting in a positive way that can like change the way, you know, like you might have somebody tuning in tonight or some other night who is like, oh, like inspired by your podcast, like, oh, I want to try that, and they might never let you know. So I always, you know, think that's something to keep in the front of your mind of like, you never know when you're positively impacting people or negatively. So it's like, you know, so with a platform like you guys got, that's really cool.
What position did you play in high school? You said you played football first, right?
Oh yeah, I was a wide receiver. I set several school records, which was cool. I was all area and stuff like that, and I had a lot of offers for no like monster schools, but a lot of colleges like came to talk to me in high school. Like Boston College was probably the biggest one, but then like Hofstra, like UNH,
D1 schools, you know,
but nothing like, you know, nothing like Arkansas or something, or LSU or something like that. But
something like, well, you know,
no. And then I remember, I think it was the BC receivers coach or something was up there, and he was like, we're gonna redshirt you, and we need you to put on 20 pounds, and we can help you do it under the red shirt. And I'm like, I'm like, I don't know what he was implying, so I'm not. But I was like, it just didn't feel right. So I'm gonna go to I'm gonna stay with basketball because it's like my passion, and that's another great choice I made. So no complaints on that.
So
absolutely.
you'd mentioned, you know, now connecting with the Bills and how you've become friends with, you know, some athletes like that. Who would you say, you know, in your phone, the most kind of the biggest celebrity in your phone right now that you could give like a FaceTime to? Who would that be?
Oh, that's a great question. My personal favorite one would be Jordan Poyer. He and just because as a Bills guy, like, and the cool thing is, like, my wife and I just had our first child, daughter. Thank you, Monroe Champlain Lamica. shout you out, girl. But when he saw that, he like reached out to me and was like, "Hey, congratulations! Like, hold her tight because this time goes by so fast." And and especially like how the world is now. And then was like, when I come out to California, like we need to link up and golf or whatever. And I just thought that was like one of the coolest things because it's like he's all pro. You know what I mean? He's like he doesn't have to. Like we've talked back and forth on social media.
I've heard he's a guy too. Like a lot of people love him.
Yeah, and he's and I think it's cool. He's had some like struggles with his personal life that he's been very like open about. Like as far as like I mean you can Google if you want to figure out. I'm not going to put his stuff out there, but just one of the coolest people I've ever interacted with. And then Adrian Grenier from the Entourage series, the dude who plays Vinny Chase on that.
Okay.
He and I go back and forth about being vegans or into like that sort of culture. But yeah, so he and I go back and forth on that quite a bit. But those are the two who I personally really respect and enjoy talking to.
That's dope. So now, I got another question for you. I don't mean to, take the
no, keep them rocking. Keep them rocking.
If you're in a 3v3 and you have to pick two other teammates alongside with you, now I'm gonna guess one of them will be Jason Williams, but who's the other guy?
But they're gonna sound corny, but my best friend in the world from like birth, he was literally there when I was born. Matt Werger, the one who went with me to the Chiefs game. It would be him because he and I used to go all over the place, and he's like a 6'5" white dude, but he's like super scrawny. So, but he would just catch bodies. Like he would dunk and be like one of my favorite things. We went to this park and we were playing, massive talking shit, like, and I tell him this dude undercuts him and he like spins around and somehow dunks it, lands on the ground, and he gets up and he's like, "Did I dunk that?" I was like, "Bro, what are you talking about? Did I dunk that? You know you did." Like, and then he played like JUCO. One of the top JUCO in the country. Had chances to play like Division III and stuff like that. And I saw him like dunk on like D1 players like left and right. But it would be them. Those Jason Williams and him just sentimentally. And then I always have to put my wife in there too because she used to like at our college, she would play pickup in the preseason with the guys team because she dominated the girls so much, and she would give it to like our role players. Like she would just like put it on. Like they get so mad. Like she's a baller. And it's like you take for granted that you're like, oh, I'm a guy, she's a girl, I can just beast her. I'm like, bro, not a chance.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah.
WNBA players and
these
female athletes, they sleep.
We got two more questions for you, Chris. And
let them rip.
To some real sports talk. Well, not
Yeah. I got you.
What is your Super Bowl prediction? What two teams do you think is going to make it to the Super Bowl, and who do you think is going to ultimately win it?
So I think the Niners, Chiefs. Just like I'm a little bitter over the Bengals, and I'm a hard overhead guy, so I'm gonna say Chiefs. And the Niners, I'm a little biased too. Some people in my circle are, with them or cheer for them, and so I'm biased there. But that's what I'm rooting for because I like to see my people happy. And I know how depressed I get when my team loses, so I don't want that for anybody.
Dope. All right, and then we have a question that we ask every single guest that we have on our podcast. It's actually originated from our Facebook group. It went super viral, and like everybody has a different answer to the question. It's just a random question, and it's very interesting. So, say you were put in a dome for 20 minutes with either a gator,
a grizzly bear,
a gorilla, or a lion.
Which one?
And you come out now. If you survive these 20 minutes, you come out with $5 million or something like that, right?
Yeah.
What would be the animal you choose to stay in that enclosed area for 20 minutes with? and try and.
And one of the answers was gorilla.
Yes.
Definitely gorilla.
Yeah.
Definitely gorilla.
Why?
And here's why. If you believe in evolution, I think that I could convince him or her not to destroy me. I'll be like, I can communicate, right? Where it's like a gator,
I can
like
rip
that.
your head off, bro.
Yeah, at least with gorilla, I can be like, hey, I can try to connect to you emotionally. Like I don't think a gorilla's crazy. But I don't think I can appeal to. I don't have much to offer the gators of the world. I think they would just kill me.
Yeah,
I think the gator is the better choice because me personally, I'm picking gator because one, gators can only go north and south. So
Fair.
Zigzag.
You're bugging.
Who told you that?
But the reason I answered so quickly, though, I was deep down in the Instagram kind of world, and I saw a gator that was just flying, and I'm like, that's why. But when you said that was the first thing I thought about. I was like, but those things are fast. But hey, if I can use that agility, like we're good.
Simo spinning.
All right. That was an excellent interview, Chris.
One more, this Tom Andrews wants to know your upcoming ventures and where we can find you, next following this.
Yeah. So I have a movie / series, depending on how they choose to distribute it, coming out. It's called Everything You Are. Shot a little while ago, but that was when it comes out. It will be the work that I'm most proud of outside of NCIS. It was the lead in this thing, and it was just a super emotional, mental health kind of thing that really pretty powerful. And then the other cool thing, like with my hair being a thing, currently in the works of getting like a Chris Lamica hairline thing going with an already established company that kind of does hair products. It's called Steezy already.
Hasn't reached out yet? Like,
has what?
Paul Mitchell hasn't reached out yet?
Oh, you're clean.
No, but I've talked to other people about stuff like with hair stuff, but it was like this company is like kind of has the indie vibe to it, and the owner of it and I like connect big time, and we have the same vision of like bringing like high quality hair products to people at an affordable price, because it's either right now you got like the gel that's going to make you go bald, or you have like the super high end stuff that a lot of people can't afford. So it's like that mixture, and it's going to be a hair powder, which if you haven't used hair powder before and you can, I would highly suggest waiting till my line comes out and purchasing some, because it's like a game changer with your hair stuff. But
I'm a cop.
I know that's not
the only one with long ass hair on this. Maybe Matt can style his hair a little bit, something like, you know what I'm saying? Definitely,
yeah, man.
That shit drops. I'm definitely gonna cop.
Yeah, no, I'll keep you guys updated for sure. No, and I'm excited for that, because my mom was a hairdresser growing up, so I've always had like an affinity for it. So it's definitely it's a passion thing, and I'm super excited for it.
That's awesome.
Awesome. Dope. Appreciate you, Chris. Now you gonna rock with us, and let's talk let's get down to the nitty gritty and talk.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, so
it gets wild. Just so you know,
it gets crazy.
Wild.
Here we go.
All right. So we're gonna recap. We're gonna start with the recaps.
Yep.
we might as well just get it the fuck out of the way. The Giants, Eagles. Oh man. All right. So
24-23 overtime.
All right. So I'll be the first to come on here and say that I was wrong
Completely.
You guys whooped our ass. You beat the shit out of us. And I really don't have any excuses for it. It was playoff atmosphere. We didn't have any injuries. We got outcoached. There's nothing I could really say as a Giants fan to justify my actions last week.
Are you gonna stop the Daniel Jones Jalen shit? That's what I want to know.
I want you to let me know when I ever said Jalen Hurts is not better than Daniel Jones. I've never said Daniel Jones is better than Jalen Hurts. Never, ever in my life.
Anybody else?
Never in my life have I ever said that.
Anybody else?
And if y'all think I said that shit, I want y'all to pull the clip. I want y'all to pull the receipt because I never said that shit.
Well, see, I know it wasn't me because I've actually thought Jalen Hurts was good since last year. And I've openly said that as a Giants fan. I said before the season, Chris, I told them I thought Jalen Hurts now with these pieces, I thought he would be a top 5 MVP candidate. And they gave me, what is he top 5 if he doesn't win it? Like, sure, I guess. But
no,
it wasn't.
It wasn't.
It wasn't.
He didn't say. And he said he needs to win. It wasn't win MVP. He needs to win first to be in
the conversation.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, he did. He did. And like,
So why do you think that they didn't put Jalen Hurts? Like it seemed like he had to force his way in the MVP talk. Why? Like after the season last year, why was he not in that conversation?
Because he wasn't really throwing that well.
I was going to say he wasn't throwing as good.
Is it because he choked in the playoffs? Like, because he,
get spanked by TB12 last year. He did.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
When you don't got the pieces, now look at the pieces.
And sometimes that quarterback needs a true bona fide number one. You look at Josh Allen with Stephon Diggs. You look at, Burrow had Burrow with Chase. Like Burrow had a good first year and he got hurt, but Chase brought him to that next level. Right now, you look at Jalen.
Hold down with T. Higgins.
Yeah.
T. Higgins.
It's the pieces that you put around them. It is still good to have that wide receiver one that you can go to.
You need it.
A lot of people don't got it. But
you look at all the successful teams and they
like
have that one guy. Like
who doesn't have their number one wide receiver, who I think is going to be a top 10 quarterback when he does. Well, I already think he's a top 10 quarterback, but he's going to be a lot better when he gets his number one, and that's Daniel Jones. He's going to get D-Hop, and I'm telling you right now, shit's going to get scary. I'm telling you.
That'd be a great pickup for you. But what I'm saying is we're going to stop the not you.
Okay.
We're going to stop the Daniel Jones is better than Jalen talk.
I don't even think it was ever a talk in the first place. I've never seen anybody ever say Daniel Jones is better than Jalen Hurts. I've never seen that.
But then again, people before the season, if you had people rank their top quarterbacks in the NFC East going into the season, a lot of them probably would have had Dak at number one. That's the thing, Yes, people did.
Would you take Dak now? Would you take Dak now over Daniel Jones going forward right now?
Hell no.
I said
if Daniel Jones gets pieces like Dak, if he get even a little bit of like something,
and he's going to be better than. That's the problem with the Cowboys. They've given him the whole offense. You have Zeke, you have CeeDee Lamb, you had Amari Cooper. You brought in
Pollard.
You have
Schultz.
Tony Pollard's a star. He budded in front of Dak Prescott's very eyes, and you still can't get it done. You have Parsons on the other side. You have Diggs on the other side. You have a solid defense. It's just inexcusable. And he's 28 years old.
And that's the problem with Jerry Jones is that he's going to stay loyal to Dak still to this day. And he's going to stay loyal to Zeke. Zeke is willing to take a pay cut. He said that. But he's still going to keep him on the roster nonetheless. That is the Cowboys' problem.
So, Chris, you think DJ is a top 10 quarterback? What's your thoughts on that? Chris?
Do I think he's?
Jones.
I'm a little biased because of the Bills connection. Brian Daboll. I think with Daboll and even Hodgins, like I loved Hodgins when he was like crushing it for us in the preseason. And I always how the fuck is this guy not on our roster? I felt like there was a spot for him. But for whatever reason, it didn't go that way. But I think with Daboll, you're going to see Daniel Jones be the best version of what he can be. It's just, and so I think with his athleticism, he has a decent arm. Nobody's going to be foolish and be like, oh, he has the arm of Burrow, Allen, Mahomes. Not that, but it's, you look at kind of that next tier. It's if he gets a D-Hop, like he was saying, and gets another year with Daboll, and gets a little bit of the media off his ass a little bit, where it's like anytime he does anything wrong, it's like, oh, he's a bust. And I'm like, they did the same thing. Not that he's not Josh Allen. I got in an argument with my father-in-law over this. He is not Josh Allen 2.0. So like he was like, and then Bill Simmons was like, he's the thinking. Daniel Jones is the thinking man's Josh Allen. I'm like, don't be stupid. Like you're just ridiculous. But it's like, I do think he could be more than serviceable. And in today's NFL, like Derek Carr has been top 10 for years. It's like there's no reason Daniel Jones can't be Carr but better. Like, so I think he absolutely could be that bottom 5 of the top 10.
Yes.
And you're going to get everything. Like, you're going to get the best version of him. And if they can kind of keep Saquon, whether it's franchise tag him or whatever, it's like they can keep Saquon, bring in a WR1, get his line short up. Like, I think he can be top 10 for sure. And I think he's knocking on that door right now.
Yeah, I think he's there. I think he is number 10 right now.
He has to score more than he has to have more than 15.
Well, he's gonna have to be more aggressive next year. He
15 TDs is not.
I mean, Corey was ready. Corey was ready to bring in forms for us to sign.
Yeah, that's
apology forms, and I think they still do need to sign.
No, for what?
I still think you need to sign him.
We never disrespected Daniel Jones.
I did.
I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about this guy right here.
He's ass.
I said
he's
ass. He's solid.
15
just not it.
15 throwing TD's not doing it for me, bro. I'm sorry.
That's cool, but he's not ass because of that. It's
yes,
just the way our offense was ran. We had a top 3 running back, and we had no wide receivers to throw the ball to.
Brock Purdy has more throwing touchdowns in 8 games. So what we're talking about?
Samuel,
all right.
But Brock Purdy has some studs. Like, that's not a fair comparison. Like Brock's like Brock, you're gonna check it down to Deebo Samuel. Like we saw his first week, he takes like 80 yards to the house.
He's a lap draft pick in the NFL. Nobody's expecting that.
Andy B could have went in and tossed for those touchdowns. He could have. Brock Purdy didn't do much. Like Brock Purdy is not a physical specimen, and he just was found a gem.
I don't know, man. Y'all was talking real spicy about this guy, and look what happened.
I wasn't
talking a whole Bengals jersey.
I am, and I'm representing
the Eagles.
We're here.
Turned him into a
Bengals. How about this? Crazy. Until he proves everybody wrong.
He has proved everybody wrong. What the fuck are you talking about? He has proved everybody wrong. He made it to the second round of the fucking playoffs. You say he was going to win 5 fucking games this year, and he won double. So he did prove everybody wrong.
I was going to say.
And look at what he did week 1 statistically in the first round of the playoffs. He put up a gem, like a one-of-one performance.
400 all-purpose yards in the first round of the playoffs. I don't give a fuck if it was against the Vikings. I don't care how bad the defense was because he put those tight numbers up.
You don't care about the defense. That's why you got smoked.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You can't say that.
You can't say that. They get smoked. When he played terrible, when he played terrible against them,
top-tier defense.
then it's all we don't have. We don't have nothing.
You know what the Giants are this year? The Eagles last year. That's my comparison.
I like that.
I
like that.
The Giants this year are the Eagles last year. And I can even say the Giants this year was better than the Eagles last year. How many playoff wins did y'all have last year? Okay, all right.
I'm going off pieces, but I would say that because we didn't have no wide receiver core last year. So I understand where you.
So what do the Giants have? He's not disagreeing. He's not disagreeing.
Just saying.
He's not disagreeing.
I understand why you would say that because we didn't have no pieces last year. I understand why you go and say that. Absolutely.
I say if we have an aggressive offseason like you guys had.
Al Galore, we got JJ Hasegawasa still trying to play. Like we didn't have no pieces. We really was going to Quez and Devontae. So
Devontae was their number 1, and he's really a number 2 at heart. You know what I'm saying?
That was really our piece in Dallas Goedert. So
y'all got a different schedule this year. So if y'all do this again, then I'll respect y'all. Until then,
okay, whatever. All right, Chris, I want you to hear who he thinks Josh Allen is.
What you mean?
Take the pedestal.
Let's hear it.
What version of Josh Allen?
Whoa.
I mean, Cam Newton. My bad.
He said he's the white version of Cam Newton.
Bro, I'm telling you.
He's not it, bro. I'm sorry.
No, hold on. No, this is my boy. I was on him from before the draft. Like even my other Bills fans that are in my circle can attest to it. they were like, oh, we got the wrong Josh. We want Josh Rosen. I'm like, no, this dude does things like that you can't teach. And it's like you can teach check downs, you can teach little. So, but he's not Cam Newton. And here's why. Cam Newton does not have the arm Josh does. And, you know, quite honest.
Chris, before you do this, don't be fanned out. Please don't be fanned out. That's nasty.
No, you're gonna like the comparison. I got a good comp for this.
Okay.
Because when I saw this clip of the white Cam Newton, and I literally was like storming around my house. I'm like, this dude's crazy. But you're gonna like the comparison. You ready for this? So we're talking about all around. He's the country thick Randall Cunningham. He has that elusiveness that Randall had when he was young. Like, Josh is faking people out. He's jumping over people. He's, like, plowing people over short. But look at Randall as his career went. He turned into a monster with the Vikings throwing bomb after bomb. That's Josh Allen. And Josh Allen's Randall Cunningham, but, like, country thick. That's, like...
Rebuttal that?
Wait.
No, let me rebuttal it.
Yeah.
Cam Newton went to the Super Bowl with his best receiver was Ted Ginn
Jr. and old Greg Olsen.
Yeah. I'm not knocking Cam. I've never said Cam was trash. That's not what I'm saying. Like, what I think is that comp is trash. Like, I think calling him, like, the way, and I think it also kind of does a disservice to Cam because I feel like he played a little differently than Josh, and there was a lot on his shoulders running the ball all the time, and that we don't require Josh to have when you have like someone like Diggs or Dawson Knox or like, you know, Gabe Davis who needs to catch the ball. But I love Gabe Davis. He's the man. But yeah, no, I heard that comparison and I was like, man, I don't like it. But teach their own.
Crazy.
It's a crazy comparison. Like, I'm pretty much giving him credit.
You don't like the Eagles, but you're giving him a Randall Cunningham comparison.
Well, maybe he thinks Vikings.
Yeah.
I feel like there's a bias as well. I think a lot of people are shitting on Josh Allen because he had to throw in shitty ass dog shit weather.
He's from Buffalo. He's from Buffalo.
Let me put a pin in that comment. So
talent. We're not gonna sit up here and deny Josh Allen's talent. All right.
You're making excuses for him. This is what
I don't make excuses.
You're making excuses right now.
Joe Burrow did it.
Yeah,
Joe
what are you
Burrow had a
talking
good
about?
game.
Bro, but here's the thing. Stephon Diggs, who we love, right? Stephon Diggs is a star. How many Pro Bowls did Stephon Diggs have before he joined the Bills?
Maybe
zero.
One, yeah.
A big fat zero. He's 3 of 3 since joining the. So it's like we got a star receiver, but it's like no Pro Bowls.
He goes
like no All Pros, and then he comes here and so it's like they're growing together. So to be like, oh, he has all these. It's like Diggs was amazing, but he wasn't like a top 4 receiver in the NFL when he came to us.
I'm not gonna lie. I think if Stephon Diggs was with Cam Newton, I think they would have won that Super Bowl. And I don't think Cam Newton ever had a wide receiver that was even half of the magnitude of Stephon Diggs. So I think that is the unfair comparison. And I honestly think Cam Newton is better than Josh Allen at throwing the ball. I don't know if that's crazy.
Prime Cam Newton?
I don't know about that.
Super Bowl Cam Newton was wilding.
Okay, we're talking about 1 year of Cam Newton when he was an MVP and went to the Super Bowl. He did not do really crazy, nothing crazy after that, bro.
His prime wasn't 1 year, Corey. Stop.
No, I'm not saying it was 1 year, but that's the only thing that y'all motherfuckers is talking about is that 1 year. The numbers was crazy that 1 year, but guess what? Josh already has better stats than him, and he's played half of the games. Cam Newton has played throughout his career.
Cam Newton won an MVP when Tom Brady was in the league. Drew Brees was in the league.
Cool.
Cool.
Yeah, cool. That's great. Awesome.
And Manning was in the league. Russell Wilson was still good.
In his prime, Big Ben was still in the league. I mean, I don't
Come
know.
on.
Bro. I don't know.
Y'all acting like I gave Josh Allen the worst comparison ever.
I don't.
No, I just don't think the arm comparison is accurate. That's all. Like I think like you look at like Josh's like pro day and he's throwing 6 miles per hour faster than Patrick Mahomes. Like the dude has all-time arm. Like You can debate other things, but it's like this dude is like top flight arm talent, and he's my boy, so I'm gonna defend him to the death. So,
Cam had a stronger run game than Josh Allen.
Yeah, for sure.
Has the better arm than Cam Newton.
So
he needs to get it done.
If
That's
you
all it
plug
comes down
Cam
to.
Newton, that season of Cam Newton onto this Bills team, would they have won that game against the Bengals this weekend?
No,
Because I think so.
I don't.
Well, here's the thing. If you use them in the exact same way, they had like no designed runs for Josh in the whole first quarter in a snow game. Like, so if you had Cam Newton, they wouldn't do that. It'd be like, hey, let's, run the quarterback power every single time in this weather. And for some reason, we weren't doing that in the first quarter. And so I think that's where the game got away, was schematically. I just think it was unfortunately outcoached.
I think Sean McDermott we need to have a
we need some more
about
criticism.
Yeah, he's kind of mid.
I mean, you lose Brian Daboll, and all of a sudden the keys just fall. Like, everything's falling apart. Like, it shouldn't be that, like, just one guy you take out and everything falls apart.
But we were 13-3. It wasn't like they just fell off. Like,
has been questionable without Daboll.
Yeah. Daboll, like, the thought in my head of, like, what would happen if we still had Daboll, like, every single game. But he's so good. He deserved the head coaching job. Like, I'm glad it's in New York. But yeah, I do think, especially with Ken Dorsey as a first-time play caller, it's like you're gonna have a learning curve. Yeah. It just sucks that it's this year, especially with everything that's gone on in Buffalo. Not just the DeMar Hamlin thing, but the snowstorm that took 40 people's lives. Like, Dawson Knox's brother dying early on. Like, all the injuries, the snowstorm that moved game. It's like, I really wanted this year to be the year, even more so than last year when I was at the Chiefs game and like crushed with that. This year I was like, the city of Buffalo could like use that dub. You know what I mean? And it's like the community that it's like a Buffalo Bills community. And so that's where it was like super heartbreaking when it comes to that. But I was like, man, if Daboll was here, what would be different? Yeah. But now I got a happy wife because she loves Brian Daboll, calling plays down with the New Jersey Giants, so we're good.
Mm-hmm. He's a big fan of mine, or I'm a big fan of his. Actually, I'm sorry.
All right, cool.
He should be a fan of yours too.
Let's move on to the Niners Cowboys.
Let's talk about these Niners because I feel now, like, I understand that some people may think that the Eagles are a slightly more talented team, but I think a lot of people are forgetting that Kyle Shanahan can easily outcoach Nick Sirianni. And that's my take on what the difference is going to be in this game this coming week.
Let's talk about the Cowboys.
Yeah, we're not talking.
You skip it through the recap.
I was excited about that.
No, we're going to give the Cowboys this work real quick. Fuck that. We're going to talk about the Cowboys.
First off, let's talk about Zeke. He's slow. He's fat. He's a hamster from the Kia Soul commercial. He needs to get
done. But he has a cool visor, though. He has a cool visor.
Oh, yeah, and he has a nose ring, too. So
he has a belly shirt.
Yeah.
He does. He does.
Like a savage, I guess. I don't know. But.
Dak's not it. Dak literally had an interview saying the keys to win this game is not to turn the ball over so much.
I literally said it. I said, he throws a pick.
I was just like,
going to be a long
What? He throws 2 picks in the game?
It's going to be a long game. Said it. Knew it. And we're not going to get that same Tony Pollard either with that broken fibula.
Parsons is mid. All he does is do one. Yes, he does one spectacular thing a game. He threw a lineman and the world went crazy yesterday. And I was just like, he didn't do anything after.
Definitely not mid, but
he's mid.
He's not mid. You're bugging.
He's not. He does. What did he do?
I need to see him dominate matchups against good competition, and that's what I had.
He doesn't do it anytime it happens. He doesn't do it.
He's not mid. I don't know what you're saying. He's one of the best defensive players in the game. He is,
but when it came to versing them top tier
linemen and stuff like that,
I could give you that. I mean, and that's a knock, but we're not going to sit up here and say that he's mid tier. Like, the fuck?
Look, that's a big knock, though. That's a big knock. When you're versing the comp, you could do whatever you want against bum teams all you want all year. But when you're versing the comp and you don't show up, that's a strike to your legacy.
So I remember when we put out a clip. And I was talking shit about the Cowboys. And I said Aaron Donald was better than Micah Parsons as far as like the best defensive player in the league. Cowboys fans fucking set me on fire
Well,
in the comments because they claim, because I said, oh, Micah doesn't get doubled and tripled the way Aaron Donald does yet. You know, like, what the fuck are you talking about, bro? He gets fucking triple team. He gets fucking this, we them boys. Nah. So, like, I think he gets doubled and tripled, maybe a little bit more. But
wait, are we forgetting? We just talked about the fact that Kayvon Thibodeau had a better
last
6 weeks.
Yes, I agree, and I still think that. But we're not gonna say
he's a stud, bro. Thibodeau is a stud. Like,
love that guy.
He's gonna be a game wrecker for years.
Micah got to show up in big games.
His goals on Saturday.
For sure.
The issue is, can the Cowboys even get him to the big game anymore? You know, like I don't even. The Cowboys might be in purgatory for a while at this point.
Bro, we knew what this was gonna be. We all did.
They are who we thought they were.
They got past the first round, and then we were like, "It's gonna happen."
And did you see the replay? All right, when Dak had a choice between T.Y. Hilton in the left seam and the guy that Fred Warner was fucking covering, CD Lamb on the right seam.
Stride for stride, by the way.
Yeah, that was nasty.
Yeah, that was a nasty play on Fred Warner. But guess what? T.Y. Hilton was wide the fuck open for a touchdown. And Dak completely missed it.
He should have caught that. Really, it hit him right in the hands. He should have really caught that ball.
Which one?
The one to CD. It was a little. I think it was a little
like
back.
Yeah, it was behind.
Like he kind of had to reach for it, and that's what caused like the tip into Warner's hands. But
yeah,
I don't know. Like Dak's reads are just, and that wasn't even the worst interception. Like the other one, the first interception.
God, I was just like, what is this guy doing?
Bad.
Who were you throwing?
At one point, I was in the group saying, "This is your legacy drive. Let your nuts hang, bro."
Yeah.
Like,
because it's not even like a fucking he's down there. Like this is like bro was only 15 yards away, and you're throwing it like he was literally Brett Mahering the quarterback position.
That dude right there, he's done in the league.
Bro, they need to take the out route out of everything. Like I swear, every time Dak throws anything to the sideline, I think it's gonna get a pick six. Like it's like I don't know if it's just the arm talent or like the anticipation or what it is, but it's like there's something that just seems off with him, and it sucks because like he seems like such a good guy talking about his mental health and all that stuff. So you like you want him to kind of do well, but you hate the Cowboys, so you want them to suck. But it's like there's just something there with him. It's like he's not a freak athlete, so you need to be an anticipatory player, kind of like what Brock Purdy's doing right now. And it's like instead he's trying to be like he's trying to have like this big game arm talent. He just doesn't really have it.
Yep. And I'm not gonna lie, I don't really love Dak. Like even if he wasn't on the Cowboys, I don't know if I'd like him. And
he's a good
leader. He's a good room guy.
Person.
He's a good regular season player.
I respect him. I don't like him though. You know, like Chris, you've seen the edits. I do make those. I throw in every time we talk about Dak, I throw in him getting beat up in college. I can't help it. It's funny to me, you know. So I'm gonna take my shots when I can take my shots. And I made said he tried so hard to throw a third one. And double R, it's gonna come out.
Yeah, that was
eye surgery, like some Jameson.
That was the legacy drive. Like the first play on the legacy drive, he almost threw a game-ending pick. I'm like, yo, this guy is crazy. Like,
bro, we know what it is every time with this guy. It's
I mean, he's been really injured prone over the past couple of years, and I think these injuries has slowed him down as far as like
movement work,
IQ, even as well.
Yeah.
Like Chris said, even like his mental health been wearing on him. Yeah. Maybe the game has gotten faster to him. Maybe the game it's a lot harder for him to concentrate or to read these reads, or
because nobody should be declining, you know, in these years that he's going through. I feel like if anything, you should be getting better, especially with CD entering his prime. You have Tony Pollard, like we're saying. So I don't know. Dak just ain't in. Where do they go from?
That's a good question.
Blow the team up.
The thing is, though, like, do you get a rookie like? And Chris, you saw this, you know, the years watching Buffalo, like bringing in a rookie receiver and expecting him to do anything with pieces around him is so difficult. Like, do you not? And I think this would you keep the serviceable guy until you find someone else that you're just completely in love with. Like, I don't know.
Well, and the thing with Dak too, though, he's had like a bunch of surgeries. You know what I mean? Like, I think he had that thumb surgery like not too long, and it's like those sort of things add up. But like what you're saying. In the draft, and are the Cowboys ever going to have a good enough draft pick to go out and get a Jamar Chase or somebody like that, or are you going to have to hope to hit on a flyer of like a late first round, early second round, you know, and it's not easy, you know. I can't remember what player it was, but I just saw it on he did a podcast, and it was like the college game and the pro game at the receiver position is insanely different. You know, and it's like that's why a lot of these athletic freaks will come into the league, and it's like they don't take over like you think they would, because there is a lot more nuance to route running and anticipation and all that sort of stuff. So it's like, just because you're a star at Bama or LSU beating everybody over the top doesn't mean you're going to necessarily translate. So it's a tough thing, man. And
absolutely,
the best of the best.
I agree. And that was Derrick Henry you're talking about, Chris.
Yeah, exactly. Yes. Yeah. So it's like it's not an easy transition.
I remember going from high school football as a safety to D3 football as a safety. And I'm telling you, the difference of that was night and day.
That's
great. No longer the fastest person on the field. You know what I'm saying?
Everyone else is faster.
Just as damn near just as fast. They're all, there's no drug testing in D3. They're all cranking HGH up their veins. It was going crazy. Oh my gosh. But yeah, I see that. All right. Let's talk about the Jags and the Chiefs. And then we'll get into the preview.
Mahomes might be cooked, fellas.
Yeah, man.
That looked bad.
That was a very hard injury to look at.
It is, because that's how I broke my ankle. That's exactly how I broke my ankle. Literally,
an offensive lineman just fell on you.
Fell right on my
and
shit, and I got smacked. Like,
I'm surprised we don't see it more. I feel like, you know, like I don't know.
I mean, when you're sliding up in the pocket like he does,
yeah,
it's very much typical for him to
get stepped on.
Yeah, for the lineman to step back and step on him. And
that looked bad, man.
And when you do break your ankle, or like what you really want to do, you want your ankle to go outward. You know, like you want it to roll. You don't want it to go inward. That's how I broke.
That's how you break your shit. Yeah.
And he stepped on it inward, and you know what it is? He felt it instantly. He knew instantly that something is wrong, and the adrenaline, I kept playing on it. So that adrenaline, tape it ASAP.
Yeah.
Put that tape on it. And he knew what he was doing.
He's a warrior for playing that out and winning the game.
For sure.
On top of that.
For sure. And we all know Pat Mahomes don't need no back foot to throw the ball.
Yeah.
He's got straight power.
Yeah.
So him just limping and throwing was pretty much just still easy for him. Because he's all.
And I think the understated thing with that game was Chad Henne's drive. 98-yard drive. Like, without that, I mean.
Yeah, but it's like there's no film on Chad Henne.
Well, did you see what Juju said after the game? Juju actually basically called out Pat Mahomes. Essentially, they asked Juju about the Henne drive and, you know, how you just ran down the field like that. And he said, well, truthfully, I feel like you could plug anybody into this offensive quarterback and they could be successful. And
he's a fucking idiot.
Saying that about your own quarterback? Like, I don't know. Like, you just called Patrick Mahomes, your own quarterback, a system quarterback. That was crazy.
A dude that got a ring in his third year. Yeah. System quarterback.
Yeah, I don't know, bro.
Threw 50 touchdowns as MVP. System quarterback.
Yeah, that's what Juju
so
crazy.
With the Jags, where do the Jags go from here? I feel like they have a very bright future.
They do.
On deck. You got a wide receiver one on deck waiting to be on your team, and then you already worked this whole year with Christian Kirk, with Zay Jones, with Marvin Jones Jr. That's a valid receiving.
They got a good ass running game.
I guess they got to work on some defense then.
Yeah, defense.
Maybe a little bit of corners. Maybe a little bit of
get some corners.
Get Jalen Ramsey.
Need some corners.
Yeah, that fucking defense, bro. If they just would have kept that core, that team could possibly would have beat the Chiefs.
I think the Rams.
Calais Campbell, Jalen Ramsey.
Jalen, I see him going back.
I think Jalen Ramsey actually wants to leave.
Yeah. The Rams are trying to get rid of him. But
I think Fowler Jr. off the side, he was so fast in the combine too, like one of the fastest edge rushers to come through the combine. They blew it up. They need a little bit of linebacking. I think that'll help them out. If they get some safety help, they're going to be in good shape.
They still were solid. They gave up a lot of points, but they're still solid.
Yeah, get some secondary help, and I think they'll be all right.
For sure.
Okay.
As a Giants fan, how do you feel about Ingram this year? His performance with them.
Right?
Found a system. Found a system.
He found a good system, but he really, I don't know.
Giants fans are horrible though. They really
He was
do kill
dropping
that
shit
man's
too. He
confidence
used to
every-
drop shit.
No,
Then
he was
again,
absolute
bro,
fucking dog shit.
he was
Stop it,
horrible.
bro. He's the
Yeah.
reason why we lost like 5 of our games last year. Like he was bad. He dropped every fucking good ball
Bro,
from
that game
Jones.
against the Eagles where it just hit the tip of his fingers to close out the game.
That corner out. Yeah,
Oh my god! Oh my
That's what I'm
god!
saying.
Oh,
Bro,
don't bring me back to that game,
That's
bro.
what I'm saying.
Oh my god!
I won't say the whole blame is on that system, but he was kind of ass.
I mean, no, you could say it. Jason Garrett, that guy shouldn't.
Yeah,
see-
you can say it was the
see a
system
role.
because it was Jason Garrett's offense, who's one of the worst offensive-minded
Yeah.
as of late, because he was really good back when they first started with the Cowboys.
You know what they
But
say about the old days, though? The old days. Jason Garrett
Yeah.
ain't built for this.
He's not.
2023
He's
NFL.
not.
That's
He's
why
not
they
built for a
commentate
pass-aggressive offense or
That's
like
exactly
anything of
why
that
he
nature.
commentated.
But
Trevor Lawrence clears Daniel Jones in year 2. I mean, I guess congrats. Trevor
cool.
Lawrence has
I
been-
mean, good
he's
job.
supposed to have been a generational talent since he was. in
Yeah,
high
he's a
school.
number
Like,
one pick for a reason.
Awesome. I mean, that's fine.
Congrats.
That's
Congrats
fine.
on that one.
Yeah, that was an L take, but
All right, let's get into the preview. I think these games, this is a very good set of games, and I honestly think this Niners-Eagles game is going to be a very, very, very good game. Like one of the top games of the year.
yeah,
Well, the lines right now
of the last couple
the
years.
lines are like neck and neck.
the lines
Yeah.
even to win the Super Bowl too. Everyone is within plus 250, I think,
yeah,
to 275
280,
type.
yeah.
So this is the closest, line wise that we've seen the Super Bowl or
Wow.
the Super Bowl in years, bro. Years. So I think these are all top offenses, top defenses. And the cool part is these teams haven't seen teams like each other so far this season. The 49ers haven't seen a defense like the Eagles, but the Eagles also haven't seen a defense like the 49ers.
Absolutely.
Very,
What
very much
makes or
facts.
breaks in this game? Like, if
Corner.
you had to
Can we-
pick somebody to break, who is it?
You
Turnovers.
turnovers.
Brock Purdy, gotta break that guy. I'm sorry. And,
Nah, that's true.
and you know it is because
There's no sorry. He's talking shit.
he's
Come
a-
on.
You know what?
I'm
I'm
sorry,
not-
tired of this. Sorry,
That's
fucking
what I'm saying. Play
respect
around,
between the
teams.
Niners and the Eagles. Fuck that shit, bro.
This the thing. Don't be that guy, Corey. You've been that guy this entire season.
I am that guy.
and guess what? I'm a respect. You feel me? And
No,
they
no,
do
no, no, no,
shit
no,
to
no.
me.
Because when I try to respect the Eagles, you're not confident in your team, huh? What you talking
We're not
about, huh?
gonna do that. We talked about this last week, and we're not gonna do that because
Fuck
you
outta
were
here.
not confident in your team. So stop saying like you were confident in your team. No,
You
you wasn't.
You wasn't.
You was not.
I was.
You was not.
I
Even
was.
Matt wasn't confident in his team
I
because
was.
last week he picked the fucking Eagles to win. So shut up and let me talk.
Well, I was.
Anyway,
I was.
I'm an unbiased, sports
Unbiased.
media
It's okay.
representative.
I
It's
was.
okay. Corey wanted to say 24-23 in overtime.
I was
That was crazy.
Anyway, the thing is,
Possible.
like we said, it's going to come down to defenses in my eyes because Brock Purdy ain't see a defense like this. I don't think that line has seen a D line like ours, and we got secondary. So it's
right.
either Brock it's either break Brock Purdy.
Those your keys
Or-
right now? You got more than those keys that says just Brock Purdy?
I got way more than those
Yeah,
keys.
all right,
but
you
we
better
can-
explain
let's go,
yourself,
let's go
yes.
key for key. Let's go key for key. So my shit is we gotta pressure Brock Purdy, make him make mistakes.
We gotta
Straight
make.
up.
We're gonna have to make Jalen throw.
Make Jalen throw, right?
Sure, Jalen has to have the
Stop your run game and stop that Debo fucking veer
Jet
reverse
sweep.
shit,
Jet
jet
sweep.
sweep shit. And still
But
got
you got to remember this though.
Still got,
Nah,
I know.
Y'all rush defense is horrible.
pass
I
rush
mean,
is different.
The pass
Pass rush
is
crazy.
Well,
crazy.
if we just
But-
showed by this last week that run game is I
They're not
understand
that- they're
that.
not on our
Understand
caliber,
that. Understand that. I'm still not gonna
Yeah.
gonna downplay y'all rush game because y'all got CMC and y'all rush game is serious regardless.
Elijah
if it's
Mitchell too.
in the
He
backfield.
hurt day
Yeah.
by day. We don't even know if he's playing yet.
Secondly,
Correct.
I'm not gonna downplay IU or Kittle. Those are still big pieces that Brock Purdy can get to and that he's confident into throwing to. So
I give y'all secondary. Y'all got a better secondary than this.
I'm saying we pressure Brock Purdy, make him make mistakes very, very much early in the game.
He didn't make mistakes last week.
I think our defense is way better than the Cowboys.
Chris,
But in a lot of reasons he doesn't make a mistake though is schematics. Like he's in a system not to make mistakes, and it's like he's not pushing the ball down the. So I think it's like I actually think it's not to shut Purdy down. I think you need to decide like, are we taking Kittle, McCaffrey, or Debo? Like who's the and kind of focus more on that because. If you're like, oh, we need to get to Purdy, it's like their offense isn't designed to hold on the ball. So I don't even know if you're gonna get to him too much.
Take away one weapon, and then go from there.
You can't do that though. You can't do that. We just talked about that last week.
So many.
And it's going to be the same way on the other side because we got the same amount of pieces that they do. We caliber for caliber. I feel like when it comes to pieces,
I don't think in the run game. I think we would shut the. There's been times when Miles Sanders shit the bed.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's gonna be tough.
Absolutely.
Nick Bosa is going to be calming. Pause.
I mean,
is Johnson? What's his name? Lane Johnson?
Yeah.
Is he still hurt?
Nah, he played last game.
But he didn't play after like halfway through the third quarter, and they never saw him again. Not even on the sideline. So I don't know. It's interesting.
I mean,
they were blowing the fucking doors out the
probably
Giants.
like, let me go get treated while we blowing their ass out. Like, why not? You know what I mean? But like I said, he was looking pretty solid if he is hurt. He looked pretty solid to me.
I think if we get the run game going, it's over for y'all, bro. That's it. That's the only.
That is the key, in my opinion.
The run game and putting pressure on Jalen Hurts.
I feel like it's the same way.
I hope we have a spy on him the whole fucking game because I do not want him running around.
That's what I didn't even see that.
That's either going to be Tafanga or Fred Warner. So
I think it comes down to the trenches ultimately.
Yeah, it's going to come down to the trenches.
I think if you let us go with the run game like we did last week,
I think it's more of the pass game for y'all. If we start letting just AJ Brown do what you want to do, it's just like,
and then we counter off of that with the run. It'll be a long game for both of us.
What's the over under on this game?
Got to be like 46.
I like the under.
It's gonna be another under game. It's not.
I like this. I think it's gonna be a defensive battle. Yeah. I think both sides are gonna struggle offensively. I really do. But me personally, and I hate to say it, but I do think the Eagles are gonna win the game. I do think the Eagles are going to win the game.
We've been the underdogs all playoffs.
I have one thing to say.
Just because Brock Purdy versus Jalen Hurts. That's the only reason I can even think of a reason. But it's so even all around.
About the Eagles winning this game, I've seen a lot, and I'm sure Chris has seen it on his social media too. Some Eagles fans saying this is giving them 2018 flashbacks. This is giving them, nostalgia of that other Super Bowl. Now, you can't say that and not now go out and win that Super Bowl. Because the Giants, Ed came on here giving the Giants that flack when, Corey said it. But these Eagles fans are going out and making those same claims. You have to win the Super Bowl now. How do you feel about that?
I mean, if you're making the claims, hey.
I
haven't said it, but I mean, I seen the shit. We blew the fucking.
You said it last week. Said it's getting real nostalgic around here.
I said that word for word.
Exactly. Verbatim.
I said nostalgic.
Fucking nostalgic. I know I didn't say that.
You said this is giving you 2018 vibes, bro. That's why I brought it up.
I think
it is 2018 vibes, though. Is it not? Though,
you're going based off the score that you seen, and it was 7-38, just like when we beat the Vikings in the.
And that's
NFC
what a lot of people are running with. That
was the NFC Championship. We're in it now. We got to do that now. Then it'll give me vibes.
Well, yeah, you're.
Then I'll be going.
I think whoever does win this game,
then you'll feel nostalgic.
Yeah, then I'll absolutely feel that way. I know I didn't fucking say it because I don't know how to spell it.
Whoever wins,
I know I didn't say that shit.
So. Sorry, whoever wins this game was winning the Super Bowl.
I don't think nobody in the AFC is going to win. I think even if Pat Mahomes,
we're the most complete.
Right,
we're the
we
two
can go
most
into that game
teams.
now.
Yeah, let's do it.
I know Ed going to be on his team side, so I said we were going to win by 4.
Final score. I need a real final score.
2017.
Say it for me, so when I clip it up, I could
2017.
No, the team names. 2017.
49ers.
49ers 20.
Eagles 2024.
Eagles 2024.
Yeah,
Okay.
3.4
Chris, what you think?
23-17 Niners.
Wow. If they could hold the Eagles to 17 points.
We do average.
Wow.
We do average everybody in the league.
That's enough.
And to circle back to the putting a spy on it, I do think it depends. Like, because a lot of teams have been doing the safety spy as opposed to a linebacker. It'll be interesting to see if they, especially Warner with his speed, like we saw last week covering CeeDee Lamb down the field. It's like, is he fast enough to spy Hurts? And I don't think any. I don't know if anybody is, but is he capable enough?
The thing anybody is, it is him.
It's probably the phone gun, but with us is we don't miss tackles. Like I noticed that, like we do not miss tackles, like ever. It's rare. It's rare to ever see us miss tackles.
You don't even go for shoestring tackles.
Yeah, like we hit you straight up. And with our defense, we got 3 first all defensive team on each level. So it's like, it's a lot. It's going to be a lot.
It's a lot.
And plus, I need the Niners to win, so when they do the Brock Purdy biopic, I can play Kyle Shanahan. So we're good.
If he was, he's getting a 30 for 30, and his legacy still. He doesn't have to do that.
He's big challenge. He is big challenge. Simo, what is your prediction?
My final score will be 17-14 Eagles. Low scoring game, but action packed at the same time.
Field goal to win it.
Field goal to win it. Could be in overtime. I'm gonna give an actual realistic overtime score this time if it does happen. But regardless, I think it comes down to the last drive, and Jalen Hurts gets it done.
That's how it was. That's how it was with the Cowboys too. I felt like if we didn't score that drive, with a CMC get all the way down to the field, I don't think we would have won that game last year.
I'm going to go. I think it's going to end up 29-24, and I'm going to take the Eagles. But I hope the Niners win.
I hope the Niners win too, but I think realistically the Eagles win.
Yeah, there's no excuse. If we lose, we lose.
I'm not gonna
be like, oh.
Listen,
even if we win, I'm not gonna be like, oh my
God. These Eagles fans, real quick.
Leave me alone.
Leave my boy Ed alone.
Leave me alone.
Because Ed ain't, just for the simple fact, Ed could have been up here a while in this whole time with me, but he ain't. He's on neutral ground. You know what I'm saying? So
neutral people hating me. People are actually like texting me, messaging
don't
me.
Worry.
Yeah, we're about to blow y'all out.
It's one thing to say like I'm ready to. You know what I mean? It's to say like, all right, I think we're gonna win on some shit. But like Ed hit the group chat like, Meech, I hate your fan base. Like literally, I hate the fan base.
That's the worst fan base in sports.
Yeah, I thought it was the Cowboys, but y'all are the worst fan base.
I'm not that.
Cowboys is a close second.
I'm not that Eagles fan. You know what I mean? Ed gonna get straight up realistic.
Chris, what you think? Who's the worst fan base out there?
He know it is. He doesn't like the Eagles.
I hate Philly sports fans for personal reasons, but they're not the one. After being out here in LA, I love my new city. LA sports fans across the board, not across the board. The ones who sit in the lower bowl everywhere are the most annoying fans in the world. Like they're like when we went to the Mets Dodgers playoff game. People are showing up in the third inning, leaving in the seventh in game 7 in a 1-run game. But you have the upper deck when they play, California Love by Tupac. You're like, people going nuts in the upper deck. So there's diehards, but the people down below leaving are like, same with Lakers games. Like we went to the Rams game this year versus Bills opening night. And it was like, the place was mostly Bills. I'm like, here you are opening, your stadium. And then the one dude who was like talking trash to us still had like the creases in his jersey and his hat. So he's like, oh, we have all these Super Bowls from St. Louis. I'm like, bro, you just bought all this gear. There's no way. You ain't been around the block like that. It's okay. They're new here for you. You like them, but it's man. It's like anytime your quarterback Matt Stafford comes down as like, or his wife, where it's like, please just don't sell your tickets. Like it's a bad fan base when it's like it never feels like a home game.
Yeah,
like I don't like Philly sports fans for certain reasons, but it's like they're passionate, they're there. It's like that sort of stuff is ridiculous when you can't fill your own stadium.
I feel like the class difference in LA in those games are very night and day. Like you said, the upper bowl kind of guys up top, they're the type that are Dodgers fans that'll beat the death out of a Giants fan, right? And then then you got the lower half that's snooty as hell.
It's there to be there.
Joe Burrow say that actually after the Super Bowl, he said he was like being in LA. He said like it felt like they were kind of, you know, old school, like in a coliseum, and everyone else was just around them, you know, the higher ups basically watching down on them as they were just like the peasants duking it out.
Well, I can tell you to get to your point what you were just saying, the difference. So we sat in games, like we saw one of Kobe's games and we were sitting in the upper deck, like nosebleed seats, like when I first moved out here. And it was like a cool vibe, and seeing Kobe in his like last year is insane. But and he was still out there like 2 hours early prepping, like he wasn't mailing it in, you know, it was insane. But it's like then as the years gone on and we've moved down to sit, you know, whether it's like tickets were like gifted with people who are like, and it's like nobody can talk shop down there. It's like or you see people, like we were at the Jazz Clippers playoff game, like sitting down, and it's like people are just leaving in the third quarter, and it's like nobody really knows about their team down there. So talking about a class difference, it's because of the price differential to sit down there. It's like you have people who more want to be seen there. Not everybody. There's, you know, of course, exceptions. But it's like it's like you're down there to be seen, to be like part of the cool kids, where you're up top, you're like, hey, I'm going to spend my last dollar to come support my squad. Yeah, it was very, very, very different.
I get that. And honestly, like you could probably see some of that when you go to like Madison Square Garden, obviously with like the celebrity row type of thing. And meanwhile, here's me scraping up, you know, my last 70 bones all the way up top just because I want to see some, you know, some Frank Ntilikina. But
like $400.
It is. But honestly, though, one thing I can say about like basketball games, I'll sit anywhere in a basketball game.
Yeah, it's different.
Like, it's no big deal.
I could sit in the nosebleeds and be satisfied and still enjoy the game. Football, you can't sit nosebleeds in football and still enjoy the game.
Shit's horrible, bro.
It's bad. It's bad.
I've really been like behind like the field goal post. So I really haven't been like all the way up there, but I rather kind of like that neutral area where I can see everything and shit. I really haven't been up to top too long. But
all right, wait, we got to talk about this Chiefs Bengals matchup just because.
Bengals, for sure.
Wait a minute,
Ooh,
Ed, you said. Yeah, I was gonna say you said the winner of this game basically doesn't even matter because the NFC is going to win no matter what when it comes to the Super Bowl. So you're telling me Patrick Mahomes in the Super Bowl and Joe Burrow possibly in the Super Bowl. You know, like either of those guys aren't going to see success.
I think he's still hurt though. I think Pat Mahomes
it's not even
like,
that. It's
still hurt.
He's still hurt.
We're not getting that full patty.
You think that the NFC defenses are just different?
They're just different right now, bro. It's like,
the Bengals defense is really good, like that.
The Bengals defense has been playing.
Yeah,
they're playing good.
Can we talk about Eli Apple's bitch ass?
Oh my god, he's so corny.
Yeah, he's a cornball.
He's such a bitch, bro.
Yeah,
I can't fucking stand Eli
man.
Apple.
So like that's what I'm saying. Like that defense is not really like clicking. I mean, I won't say they're not clicking like that, but like when I see them going against one of these other NFC teams, they're getting smoked. I see the defense getting smoked.
Maybe talent-wise, I could see, star power on paper. They don't really have the stars on defense the way, like Micah Parsons, Trevon Diggs, and, for the Cowboys. And then, Fred Warner, Nick Bosa, for you guys.
They're still good,
Reddit,
though.
So. No, that's what I'm saying. They're still an extremely good defense, and I think we can't underestimate how these guys have been playing together for a while now. This is like 4 or 5 years of the same Bengals defensive core. So I don't know. We've seen a lot of growth for them.
So it's the Niners.
See them get exposed a lot too.
So this game is on neutral ground, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
No, isn't it I thought it was at Arrowhead because it was just Bills and Chiefs would have been neutral.
Oh, Bills Chiefs would have been neutral. Okay.
I
got it mixed up. So it's at Arrowhead, which is a huge advantage for the Chiefs. Honestly, and I always am the contrarian out of the group. Like, I see a Patrick Mahomes revenge game coming. and he can be as hurt as he wants to be. He can be as hurt as he wants to be. Like you said, that doesn't stop him from being him.
Listen, that's a fact.
Yeah.
If Joe Burrow beats him again, that's 4 times.
I'm taking Joe Burrow though.
We're gonna have a talk after that.
It's gonna be 1A.
We're gonna have a talk after that.
It's gonna be 1A and 1B, and Patty might be B at that point. I can't even lie.
If a dude beats you 4 times, Corey, come on, bro.
He's just giving them that because he got them Super Bowls. And
he's gonna have to win the Super Bowl for him to get the nod over Patty.
Not for
in
me.
my opinion.
Not for me.
In my opinion.
If Patty can't beat,
and he's
Patty
gonna have to
never,
break a touchdown record or 2.
No, look, listen. Patty might never get to another Super Bowl if he can't get past Joe Burrow.
Yeah,
bro, you think Joe Burrow is gonna beat him every single time they play each other? Is that what you're telling me?
3 times already.
Yeah,
all right,
that's
all right. So let's see him do it again. Let's see him do it for a 4th time.
It just sucks because we all know we're not gonna get 100%. This is impossible for us to get 100% of Patty within a week, especially when we don't know. They saying it's a high ankle sprain. Whatever you want to throw that narrative, that's cool. We're gonna see if it's a high ankle sprain for sure.
High ankle sprains are worse than fucking any sprain. I'm gonna tell you that right now. I've had one, and it's.
But we're not gonna get that 100% on each side. We're not. But I'm not. I'm still giving it to Joe Burrow. I'm going with Joe Burrow. This game, honestly, we've been talking about this.
I'm not going with nobody. I'm just saying if Joe Burrow beats him again, there's gonna be a talk. It has to be.
What do you think, Chris? Is Joey B on this level of Pat Mahomes?
No. It's like it's this simple. It's like if you want to go statistics and hardware, Patrick Mahomes all day.
Yeah.
Like and I'm someone who is like I'm not anti Mahomes, but it's like when he spikes the ball on the ground in Collinsworth, it's like, oh, that's such a heady play. Like I can't stand that stuff. So I'm definitely not like a Mahomes fanboy, obviously. But it's like to put Burrow in that class is just right now. It's not like so. If he beats him this week and then goes to lose the Super Bowl, it's like, oh, he's better than Mahomes because he's beat him in games but can't win the whole thing. Like, and they're different quarterbacks. Like Mahomes, like is like he makes people like he does things in 40 years, your kids will be like, oh, that's sick. Like Joe Burrow is not going to really provide highlights like that or like the memorable. Bro, come on. Let me speak on it. You're right. I am a little bitter. I am bitter. But it's like the Bengals, it's like you guys haven't done anything. Like you got to the AFC or you got to the Super Bowl, cool. But if you're going to knock the Bills for not doing anything, it's like, what is what has Burrow done that's next level than Patrick Mahomes? Like,
yeah, no, I mean, in terms of, I guess if you want to count the hardware, yeah, Pat Mahomes does have a beat right now, but I just got to say that, right? Like the eye test as of late.
The eye test, Patrick Mahomes is better. Get the fuck out of here. Please stop it, bro. Please stop it, bro.
Yeah, listen.
Please, I had to stop Matt in his tracks because I was fucking.
Listen,
statistically,
he's better.
But if eye test, he's better. But eye test, he's better too.
Okay, I better. He test statistically, he's better. It doesn't matter. If one dude is stopping you from going to the Super Bowl every year, we're gonna have a talk.
All right, that's fair. I'll give you that. He's
gonna fuck around and end up like Aaron Rodgers, and then we're gonna be like, oh, what? Say what? I'm wrong?
Yes, you're wrong, bro.
He gonna end up like
this is fucking 4th year in the league.
That's actually a better comparison.
That's a better comparison. Aaron Rodgers didn't even fucking play a game till his fucking 5th year in his fucking career. Patrick Mahomes has gotten a Super Bowl, an MVP, and a fucking. What are we talking about, bro? What the fuck are we talking about?
So Aaron Rodgers got those same things. So Aaron Rodgers got those same things, and then has been lackluster since.
Yeah,
Patrick Mahomes has those same.
How many years in his career did he get the fucking Super Bowl?
He has won Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And how far along in his career did he get that Super Bowl?
What?
How long did Aaron Rodgers take? You said he got no. Stop. Let me talk. Let me talk, bro. Because you be on some bullshit. Let me fucking talk. Let me talk. Aaron Rodgers. It took what 8-9 years into his career to get a fucking Super Bowl,
cool.
And then he didn't do shit since, right? Cool. All right. It took Patrick Mahomes 2 years to get a fucking Super Bowl.
Cool.
He sat 1 year. 3 years. He sat behind. I'm not done. I'm not done yet. So Mahomes is a lot younger at his stage in his career to where Aaron Rodgers is.
He is 29 years old, bro.
Okay. How old was Aaron Rodgers?
It was actually Aaron Rodgers' 4th season when he won the Super Bowl. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Keep going.
He sat.
No. How long did he sit?
That's Brett Favre, though.
3 years.
Okay.
So it was his 7th year, Matt. Stop it. Stop changing narratives. Stop it. I don't give a fuck if he didn't play. I don't give a fuck. I don't care.
You're not making a logical
You can't do that because he sat behind Alex
He
Smith.
sat behind Alex Smith
for 1 year.
And they did go to the AFC Championship with Alex Smith.
Keep going. You done explaining.
I'm done. Go ahead.
It's like, yeah.
I'm done. You're
Aaron
fucking
Rodgers-
crazy.
Aaron Rodgers has 1 Super Bowl.
Right.
Pat Mahomes has 1 Super Bowl.
Right.
How many MVPs does Aaron Rodgers have?
3, I believe.
3.
Cool.
If Mahomes just keeps getting MVPs with 1 Super Bowl, he has the same talent. That's what it's looking like until he beats Joe Burrow. Until he beats Joe again.
And I said it right here. This is almost like Tom Brady stopping Peyton Manning from going.
Yeah,
you
like,
know,
what are we
like that
talking about?
same vibe.
Nah.
Patrick
Mahomes is a better.
You're fanned out.
I'm not
We're
fanned out.
saying-
I'm not fanned out.
I
You're
think
fanned out.
No, listen. I think AR-12 was better than Tom Brady his whole career, but that doesn't matter because he didn't do shit with
You
it.
got to win.
You gotta win.
I agree.
But it's hard. Like Rodgers has 4 MVPs. That's hard to be. That's hard to be like. Exactly what I'm. And it's like to say Patrick Mahomes is that. It's like a long way off from doing that. And it's like I think in the playoffs, Mahomes is 1. You look at Aaron Rodgers. It's like how many times is he getting bounced at Lambeau? Like, that's just not happening to Mahomes. So I don't know. Like, I don't want to see Mahomes succeed, obviously. Bro, your jacket is wild in here. Every time I see one pop up, I'm like, I love it. Like your squad is awesome.
When Patrick Mahomes like it just don't make no fucking sense to me. I don't know.
So far, and
He's
that's a perfect comparison. You're acting like I said.
It's not a perfect comparison. It's not. You say you saying Patrick Mahomes is Aaron Rodgers, and they have 2 way different careers. And Patrick Mahomes. What year is he in? This is his 5th year?
Actually, I think you're right.
What is this, his 5th year?
If Aaron Rodgers had Tyreek Hill to start his career, I think Aaron Rodgers would have had even more success than Patrick Mahomes.
The thing is,
that's fine.
Don't get me started. No,
that's cool.
The thing Ed is saying is he's basically doing the same shit because he's gonna have all of them passing yards just like Aaron Rodgers, them 5,000,
but not get the big win. You know that
Bro,
I agree.
Okay,
he got
that don't
one
make sense.
this is what I'm trying to say. This is what I'm trying to say. You are wrong. Patrick Mahomes is in his 5th year.
You're going
correct, and he has done. Let me finish. Let me talk. All right, 5th year. You're comparing somebody that has done how many years in the league to somebody that's done 5 years in the league and has done the same, pretty much same accolades.
He said,
except for 2 less MVPs because he had 15 fucking years in the league.
You need to listen. He said if he continues to do this, he's gonna be.
That's all right, sure. If he doesn't get any more fucking Super Bowls, sure. But
yeah,
let's keep it a buck.
That was the argument.
That's all she wrote.
That was the argument. He said if he continues to do
no,
this,
I just
Super Bowls,
all right.
He's gonna be.
I didn't
just
hear
like
that
Aaron
correctly.
Rodgers.
If that's what you said, I didn't hear you correctly. I thought he said Aaron Rodgers is Patrick Mahomes, and Patrick Mahomes is Aaron Rodgers, and that's it. That's what I thought I heard.
Break down why he's Aaron Rodgers. That's all he was doing.
He's not Aaron Rodgers though.
Why is he not?
At the moment, he is.
At the moment, he's not. Because it is too early in his career to even give him that kind of comparison.
5 years is a lot.
It's a lot.
It's not a bad comparison. It's not a bad.
Pretty much just like Aaron Rodgers, 5,000 a year.
How does he not play like Aaron Rodgers? I'm confused. They have the same play style.
I mean, they do have the same play style in a sense, but I'm just saying comparing careers. It's not the same. It's not.
Is a younger player, but the way it's looking, like he said, if he can't get past Joe Burrow, then it's gonna be.
I just hear a bunch of ifs.
I'm just
It's
saying.
not an if. He has
There's
to
a bunch
beat
of ifs, bro.
He beat him last year in the championship, right?
Yes.
And he's beat him every time they verse each other in the regular season.
What are you talking
That's a guy
about?
that
Joe
has your
Burrow?
number.
Yes,
Yeah,
Joe
that's a guy
Okay,
that
that's
straight up
cool.
has
I
your
still
number.
think Patrick
gonna
Mahomes
keep
is better than
Patrick.
Joe
So
Burrow.
anytime
I still think Patrick
everybody
Mahomes is
out
better.
there
Yes.
with
Period.
facts, he says he doesn't care. That's it.
So you beat him three.
Well,
you-
we'll see this weekend. So, what are our predictions or keys to the game for this? Whatever side we think is going to win, what do they have to do in order to take this game?
Mahomes better not be hurt.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
that
if
is
you
the key.
take- if you
That's the
take-
key.
The only
The
key.
only key is take Pat Mahomes out the game, and then hey, you should be solid.
I'll take a 15-yard roughing the passer off rip just to get Patty Mahomes out of the game.
You're a scumbag.
The backup is not bad either.
Chad?
So,
Well, according to Juju, it doesn't matter.
bro,
Yeah.
They better go out and win.
Didn't he go? Did
does
he even
matter.
have an incompletion going up the field when he started?
No, he went 9 for
Hey,
9.
man, that's a system.
Yeah,
That's
a good
great
system.
though. So then it should work.
Yep. Chris, what you think?
I got the Chiefs. I know I'm going to be hated on by the Bengal fan who keeps taunting me in the chat. But no, I mean,
only Bengals fan.
I think with the Mahomes injury, and this is not an original thought. I was talking to somebody who's like a quarterback trainer, and he was saying similar things. So this is his idea, not mine. And he was like, the reason why this won't affect Mahomes like it would, like a Joe Burrow or like a Brady, is because he's like a plant and drive thrower. Those guys, where Mahomes is more of like an off base thrower. So he plays the game like a shortstop, right? So he's not necessarily driving off his foot, and especially with their offense this year not being as downfield heavy as they were in years past with Hill and all that. It's like, so I think they'll be able to mask it enough. And then I also think like Arrowhead postseason, knowing like Mahomes is down, it's like they have weapons too. Like I hate the narrative on some of these like mainstream talk shows of like, oh, Mahomes is doing a lot with a little. It's like they have studs, and they have like Juju second round pick, like Tony first round pick, like Kelsey probably the best tight end to ever live. It's like to be like, oh, he's doing a lot with a little. Like I just don't think that's true. And if you look at his career, he always leads the league in yak yardage. Like the Chiefs always lead the league by a large margin in yards after catch. So it's like this game sets up for that. You know what I mean? It's like they're going to have to do that with, if Mahomes is compromised. So I don't think that impact him as much unless he gets rolled up on again or something like that. But I think you're going to see Mahomes put like a stamp on like, hey, keep that Joe Burrow talk like somewhere else for now.
I like it.
I got the Chiefs 24, Bengals 17. Actually, no. 28-24 Chiefs. 28-24 Chiefs. That's what I like.
Ed, what you thinking?
I got 30 Bengals, 27 Chiefs.
25-20 Bengals.
Okay. I'm going 33-28 Bengals.
All right.
All right.
Dope.
I main says 34-26 Bengals. So we're close on it.
Okay. I think it's going to be a great game regardless. And I really don't think that ankle injury is really going to I really like what you said right there, Chris, that Pat Mahomes isn't really a plant and throw type of guy. He's more of an off-base thrower. He throws sidearms. He throws all types of stuff where he doesn't have to put weight on that leg.
I mean, shit, he
He
threw
straight
without
arm.
feet last year.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Yeah.
he
threw
threw
without
he
feet.
straight arm. He had his arm strength.
Yeah.
Forget that he played baseball too, right?
Yeah.
So that's straight. He don't.
His dad was a Met.
Yep.
Yes,
That
he was.
a Met.
Yes, he
Indeed.
was.
Indeed. All right. I think that's
All right. I think that's going to wrap up MoSports TV for this week. Chris Lamica, I appreciate you coming on the show, bro. You're invited anytime. Not only are you a great actor, a great athlete, but you are also a great analysis of the game as well. I respect it. I love it. And anytime actor buddies and any type of other peoples that wants to come on the pod, let us know, man. And
always open.
I got you. And I want to say real quick, thank you for having me. Like this was like one of the coolest things is talking sports shop, and you guys are awesome. And one thing I want to say is like I think your platform is so great because when you watch like mainstream sports shows, it's like it looks like you're just, or it sounds like they're just going through like a checklist. Like they're
Right.
saying players who weren't even playing anymore, like, or who haven't been part of the offense, or they're just like all kind of pushing the same narrative
Right.
of certain players. And like just to hear you guys like talking shop, like with actual like facts, opinions, and like an analysis of what's going on. Like you can tell you guys do your homework, and that's why this conversation was so much fun. Like even when you don't agree with the point, it's like you know where it's coming. It's coming from like a factual place, and I think it's just such a cool vibe and providing so much for the sports community. So I hope nothing but success for you guys, and you know definitely anytime you guys want, I'm coming back through. And when the Bills win the Super Bowl next year, you bet I'm definitely coming through.
So I guess we'll see you again in 20 years, huh?
I'll see you in about 400 days. We'll be talking about the same thing, and I'll be like, I told you, Josh Allen's that dude. Now we're gonna put him with Mahomes, and Burrow can hang out back there.
We're gonna have to clip that up. Ed'll have the data on you as well. So
Love it. Appreciate you guys. Keep doing your thing.
Yeah, I appreciate all the kind words, brother. Yeah.
Thank you so much, man.
Make sure everybody supports, you know.
Yeah, guys, drop Chris a follow. Follow him on all platforms. Chris, if you want to plug your socials, you know, anything you got going on, go ahead.
Yeah, just Instagram's my main thing, just at Chris Lamica. If you tuned in and heard it, reach out. Like I usually don't respond to all the DMs because there's some creepy vibes going on sometimes, but you let me know you saw me here. I love to talk shop, and yeah, man.
Hell yeah. Appreciate you,
dope.
Thank you guys all for tuning in. Mike, we appreciate you and your comments as well. I mean, Double R. Anybody that tuned in, obviously, we appreciate all support on all platforms. If you guys are coming in from YouTube, don't forget to drop a subscription. We appreciate everyone. They matter a lot to our algorithm, so that will boost us up a ton. Thank you guys so much for all the support. We really can't exaggerate enough. You know, a great weekend across most sports, over 10 million views, you know, completely across all platforms in just one weekend. So that's pretty miraculous, and we hope to keep the ball rolling. So with guys like Chris, you know, anything's possible around here. We appreciate everyone for the support, and we will catch you guys next week.
Yes, sir.
Peace.